Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at another brand new addition to this game, which is this truly hideous BMW iX. As always, to obtain this week's new and quite horrendous car, all you have to do is, well, get 20 points in this week's festival playlist, which will be available until Thursday. As you can see, for 40 points there is also the returning Emery, but you can see to obtain my 24 points, which is more than enough for this car, I've done the trial, an event lab, a seasonal championship, a photo challenge, and of course the 4 rivals events that I previously did last week. As well as being possibly the ugliest car ever made, it is absolutely huge, and being electric is also ridiculously heavy, even given that size, at 2,500 kilos. To haul all of that weight around, they have given it 516 horsepower though, and 765 torques, so it's not exactly a slow vehicle in a straight line at least. In the corners it's, well, there's no other word of describing it, terrible. It just doesn't turn, it understeers, you hear the tyres struggling, which is probably why tyres wear quite so much on electric vehicles, and when you brake you get sort of lift-off oversteer, throwing the back end round in front of you, which I suppose makes sense with that much weight. So yeah, it's not a good car. I honestly don't know why anybody would buy one of these in reality, especially given that prices start at nearly £70,000 here in the UK, and this one in-game being the top of the range model, which is the one that has that much power to lug that weight around, can cost up to 112,000. Think of the other vehicles you could get for that. I don't know why anybody would choose this. In Forza, however, I think this thing's actually going to be quite a lot of fun, especially given some of the options we have for it here in the game. In terms of upgrades, there are many interesting options, like I say, including the option to upgrade your motor and battery, which gives you 1,033 horsepower, but also the option to completely change it, giving you 1,893 horsepower if you really want to, which I think is absolutely incredible. You may notice there's another option there we'll look at in a minute. There's your usual Forza Aero, which I don't know why you would put on. There is probably weight reduction somewhere, which is very useful. There's all the track widthy things, everything you would expect, and yeah, that's going to be quite important. Although it still weighs nearly 2,000 kilos with that. But anyway, yes, over there in conversion, there is a body kit, which is incredible. It's actually one of Forza's own kind of in-house designed wide bodies, and I believe there will be a very similar one available for the BMW i4 in a couple of weeks' time. That one had already been shown, but this one hadn't, so if you haven't gone and checked this car out or gone and got it already, do, because you can do that to it, which is just absolutely incredible. What I'm actually going to do, though, is go down here into body kits and presets and apply the body kit preset, which not only comes with that wide body, but also some upgraded wheels, a roll cage, and several other upgrades, bringing it to the top of S1 at 900 PI, bringing the weight down to 1,969 kilos and power up to 1,033 horsepower. So what they've done is they've upgraded the motor rather than putting in the truly insane one. But I think that's going to be more than enough. Now, let's look at some of the colours. There are several rather dull manufacturers' blacks, whites and greys, as well as a token blue and red, which are also quite boring. And as this is an electric car, I think there's only one colour we can really paint this thing. And given that's quite bright, I think I'll go with some black wheels and some black mirrors. Perfect. So then, how fast is an electric car with 1,033 horsepower now that weight's down to under 2,000 kilos? Which, given it's a big electric thing, is not actually too bad. I mean, compared to a normal, not electric car, it's still horrendous, but let's see. 180. It would appear 181 is all we can do with the gears in their current configuration. I'm pretty sure we can get 200 though. So, final drive tuned entirely to speed. Let's see what we can do. 190. There's a beetle there. Come on, hit 200 on the flat, please. As well as final drive, we can actually adjust first gear. 1 second. Never mind, that's not really worked. That's just making it not accelerate. So that much power clearly isn't enough, so I've swapped the motor for that 1,893 horsepower one, and done a few more upgrades. I changed the semi-slicks from the preset on to full slicks, removed the tiny little wing that I hadn't realised it had put on, but also looked ridiculous, and did a few other things that hadn't been done to it. So now it's a S2 984 PI, and, well, it's a bit lighter, a bit more powerful. Let's see what it does now. Here we go then, let's see what it does now. I've also kind of tuned the gears a bit more properly, so final drive all the way to speed, and first enough to sort of go in the corner of the graph, if you can imagine what I mean, which is a very basic way of tuning, I know, but in general it works. It's very sketchy, twitchy. Other streaming services are available. Right, we're doing 240 already, 250, 260, 270, 275, 275 miles per hour in our nearly 2,000 kilos BMW electric monstrosity. With upgrades, customization, and that very important couple of tests out of the way, I immediately got out of the iX and into a Jaguar I-Pace, a far superior and much less ugly electric car, and we had a drag race in that against the iX and a few other electric vehicles that's a sort of similar performance here in Forza Horizon 5. Here we go. That Rivian is fast. This, however, isn't.
I've got good acceleration, but I hit my top speed.
Why can I suddenly hear an engine
I've hit my
revving?
top speed.
Oh,
it's
you
probably
got
some
high
score.
top speed than me.
Yeah, but I hit the ninja.
That
My top
Tavascan
speed
is
is
slow,
170.
isn't it?
That BMW is really quick.
I'm catching up
Not
to
in top
Stig.
speed, it's not. I'm gonna
the
take the
Jaguar's gonna get me as
X-Peng!
I'm gonna
Yes!
get Stig.
Oh, the
I bought the
Cooper's
F-150.
overtaken us.
I would have had that
I've only got a top
BMW if we had a
speed of
longer drag strip.
120.
Third place for the Jag!
Really good acceleration though.
And that is going to do it for today's video, taking a very first look at the brand new BMW iX here in Forza Horizon 5. So from standard, not only is it hideous, it's huge, it weighs too much, it won't corner, and, well, it's entirely pointless and very expensive, in reality at least. Here in Forza though, luckily there are some interesting upgrades. There's a mad wide body, there's a motor that gives it 1800 horsepower, so it ends up as quite an insane thing. Still hideous and entirely stupid, but quite fun nevertheless. So yeah, I think it is quite a fun addition that I'm going to have a lot of fun with. So I'm really pleased that they gave us these options, because as standard, I was a little bit worried about what was going to be an option for this thing. But yeah, quite interesting to compare it to some other electric cars in a drag race as well, and to see how the top speed was with those absolutely insane motors applied. So yeah, despite from standard being a horrible car in almost every way, it has some fantastic options here in Forza, so if you've dismissed it as being horrible, because it is, do go and get it, because, well, you can do this to it, if you want to, if you want to make an insane thing. For now, though, for a very first look at this new addition to Forza, that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.